Alright guys, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to go over number 6 now. Alright, now in problem number 6, okay, we're still using these genes, okay, and these phenotypes. So B that represent the dominant gene, okay, that will give you brown eye color, okay, and little b that would give you blue eye color. Okay, so we're still with these traits, okay? Now, what we're going to do now is we're going to try to figure out what the genotypes of all these individuals are, okay? But what we do need is a little piece of information, okay? And now, whenever you see black circles and black squares, that means that they have a specific phenotype. And in this case, I'm telling you that they have a recessive phenotype. All right, so the recessive phenotype is blue eyes. Okay, so this person, Ben, Blanca, Natalia, and Liz, they all have blue eyes. Therefore, their genotype has to be homozygous recessive, because that's the only way that you would get blue eyes. Okay, they need 2 copies of that gene to have blue eyes, right? Now, using this information now, we can figure out the rest of the individuals in this pedigree. Now, let's start with Lisa, okay? Lisa, we know that Lisa has brown eyes, okay? Why? Because she is not a dark circle. Only the dark circles have blue eyes. Everybody else has brown eyes. So, now, therefore, she has to have a big B, okay? She has to have one because she has brown eyes. But what's the other one? Well, remember, that's why we need to look at the children. Blanca, okay, is Lisa's daughter, all right? So that means that Lisa had to give Blanca one of her little B's. So she has 2. One has to come from mom. So therefore, you have to assume that Lisa has one of those, okay? Because she would need to have one in order for Blanca to have 2 little b's, 2 recessive genes, right? So we know Ben, dad, gave one, mom has to give the other. Therefore, we can tell, okay, we can determine that Lisa is heterozygous. Now, using the same information, we know that Oscar, okay, has brown eyes. Why does he have brown eyes? Because he's not a black or a black square. Got it? So, therefore, we know that he has to have a big B. But look, Natalia has 2 little b's. One came from her mom, Liz, and the other one has to come from dad. So therefore, dad has to have a little b so that Natalia, okay, could have gotten it. All right? So then we know that Oscar is heterozygous. Now here's the other piece. We know that Liz has only little b's to give. So therefore, she's going to pass one on to Karen. She's going to pass one on to Nicole. So we know that she has to have, okay, they have to have at least 1 recessive gene from mom. But we also know that they have brown eyes because they're not dark circles, they're not black circles. So therefore, we must assume that dad passed on the dominant version of his gene. Does that make sense? So in this example, dad gave the big B, but in Natalia, dad passed on the little b. Okay, got it? Now, back to this one. Rose. We know Rose has to get a little b from dad. Okay, just has to. All right, this little b has to come from dad. One of the little b's has to be passed on. But we also know that Rose has brown eyes because it's not a black circle. So we know that the other gene has to be a big B, and that comes from Lisa. All right? And finally, Rob. All we know about Rob is that he has brown eyes. okay? We know that for a fact. But we don't know, we can't tell for certain what his genotype is because we don't have any kids to get information from. So therefore, Rob can be either homozygous dominant or heterozygous, okay? But we won't know unless we had information, okay, from the kids, okay? So just keep that in mind. That's the way you think about pedigrees, okay? And if you keep that in mind, that one gene has to come from mom, one gene has to come from dad, okay, then you'll be right on for the test, okay? Take care.